What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Big up. It is Tuesday, which means we're back for another episode of Talk Back Tuesday, the show where you, the listener, you, the viewer, you, the watcher, you, the footy fan, get to jump on the stream with me and have your say. You get to talk about anything and everything footy related that you want to. All you have to do is hit the link in the pinned message in the chat. There is a pinned message with a link in the chat. If you click that link, it'll take you right into the background. And I will promise to get you on screen and let you have your say. Some people come on and want to just have their say and then jump right back off. Others have their say and want to hang on and hang out for a little bit. Some stay the whole show. That's entirely up to you. But we just want to create this space where you get to say what you want to say. I was on a stream yesterday. I was on a stream. I don't know what yesterday was. Yesterday was Monday. So I was on a stream on Monday. I was on a stream on Sunday. I was on a stream on Saturday. So I've been streaming all weekend and all even yesterday. Um, Not yesterday. No, I was on yesterday too. Anyway, I've been streaming all week and I've been talking to people, at people, yelling at people, all the things. I've been doing it all, right? But now it's time for me to sit back and listen and hear what you got to say. So this is your chance. Thank you to everyone that is here. So many of you hang out with me each week, and I do certainly appreciate it. So certainly want to shout each and every one of you out. At the bottom of the screen, you can see that we are trying to get to 500 whole big subscriber count. I think we are at 335, 36, something. I don't know, 330 something. So we need about 160 more of y'all to go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join this community. It's look, if I'm gonna be honest and toot my own horn for a little bit, I think we got some of the best people in all of city fandom over here. So come on and join. Come on and join. Uh, so certainly glad to have everybody again. Like I said, do hit that subscribe button. We will get into it. There's a lot to talk about today, as there always is when you're a city fan. Um, I see. Before we get into any of the city, the topics of the day, we get into the rundown of the show. Let's, if I can get my mouse to work. Let me shout out everybody that's here. Big up, Ash. Love you, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Big up, Snoopy. Always down, always here, always one of the first. Got beat by Ash though. I called you out as being the first one every single time, but Ash got you beat today. So we'll see. Trying to take your spot. But certainly appreciate the love. Appreciate encouraging folks to go ahead and like and subscribe. Appreciate you, sir. Big up Ryjack. As always, sir, the door is always open to you. If you ever want to jump on stream, just hit that link and come on. But yes, Ryjack, another city content creator. Most of you probably have seen him on here, and hopefully you already follow him. But if you don't, go ahead and follow him now. And his channel is, I believe, just Ryjack. I don't know if it has a dash in it or not. I don't think so, but go ahead and it might. Go ahead and don't do it now. Write it down on a piece of paper so you can remember to go over and give his channel a follow. Big up Jen. Glad to have you. Repeat back again. I love it. Appreciate you for being here. Big up Adam. Big up Spartacus. Appreciate it. Yes, we will get to laughing at Liverpool in just a little bit. Yes, I don't even know how to say that. I was gonna say Randy, but I don't know how to say this. So, but I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad LB put you on. So certainly appreciate that. Big up Man City, Canada, North American. Uh, uh, yeah, big ups to you. Interested to know what part of Canada. Obviously, Canada's a big country. So, but Man City, Canada, big up to you. Glad to have you. And of course, as always, Magnus, appreciate you being here, sir. We will, thanks to everybody being here. We'll get into it. Again, as always, feel free to put your comments in the chat. It has its life of its own. Vancouver, okay, that's what's up. Randy, yes, Randy from San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so Randy, I don't know if you're a basketball fan or not, but of course, Charles Barkley famously has some negative things to say about San Antonio and some of the women out there. So, you know, if you have some ought against Chuck, I understand. I understand, but glad to have you, man. Hopefully, you'll enjoy yourself tonight. If you want to jump on, have your say, come on and do it. Big up to Louis, who was always on screen with us. Big up to you, sir.
Thanks, man. And you.
Glad to have Randy said yes, he is a basketball fan. Ride Jack, San Antonio women. Yeah, that's what Chuck said. Not me. I don't know. I've never been to San Antonio. I'm just saying what Charles Barkley said. So, somebody called. Oh, was it on here? It was. Somebody called Charles Barkley. Well, they actually called Micah Richards the Charles Barkley of football or of soccer, if you use that term. So yeah. Yes, shout out to Louis, always here, always jumping on screen. Appreciate you. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if you're in the chat at all, Louis, but if not, I'm just gonna make you a moderator.
A mod.
Yeah, make you a mod, man.
No, please don't.
Don't make you one. It's too much power to wield. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. With
great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, my superhero go. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be responsible. That's too much effort. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Do it, Terry. Well, you know what? I just told you guys I need 500 subscribers. I'm really pushing to try to get to 1,000. That's really where we're trying to go, but you got to take it in baby steps. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? So I can't get to 1,000 without getting to 500 first. So trying to get to that 500 at some point, if we're lucky, we'll get monetized. And see, if we get monetized, I don't want Louis to ruin it and make me lose my monetization. So I won't put that responsibility on him. But we're a long way off from that. So we'll see. Anyway, City played on Saturday. We played Leeds. It was a 1-0 victory. The goal was scored in the first half. Basically, it might have been first half stoppage time, to be honest.
It was.
Yeah, when got a goal through Antoine Semenyo. Of course, the thing for me that stood out right from the beginning of the game, I don't know if anybody else, but I was not aware that Haaland would not be playing until like right before the match. I saw someone say it, disregarded it, because a lot of times people say stuff that I don't really think is true. So I just disregarded it. And then you realize that, oh, wait, he's actually not playing. And then you see some thoughts in there about, oh, he's got a knee injury. Oh, he was doing some stuff with Sidemen and KSI. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But when you heard that Haaland wasn't going to be playing, what were your thoughts?
Ooh. It was kind of 50-50. Like, I was thinking, yeah, we'll do well. It'll be Leeds. They'll have good moments. They'll have good chances. But at the same time, we'll have enough up front to, like, especially in the first half, get a couple of goals. But I have to say, Leeds were really like a lot better.
So Spartacus, if Louis going to ban you, if he gets the power to the mod. See, the way that you fix that is you don't go in the chat, you just come on stream, and then he can't monitor or moderate your thoughts and your comments. You can say as much as you want to about Donnarumma if you come on stream, but if you put it in the chat, he might get rid of your comments. So you got to save that for when you're on stream. And we will talk about Donnarumma here in a minute. So, if you got something to say, Spartacus, it's not quite the time, but it will be in a little bit. But go ahead, man. You were saying.
This is Spartacus already worried about me.
Yeah. It's like, please don't give him that power.
But it's Leeds were really good. I have to say that Leeds were really. It wasn't like a
So let me ask this question. So I know at the beginning of the season when everyone was calling Arsenal set piece FC, they were coming back at us with we're Haaland FC. And so if you have that mentality and you have that concern, you go into that game knowing that there's no Haaland. And so you have to question yourself, okay, are we, is this going to be a case of where it's no Haaland, no problem? Or is it going to be a case of no Haaland, no goals? And so to get that goal from Semenyo was great. Now, to be fair, it was only one. And to be fair, I think we have an issue with getting goals in the second half. I think we've not been a team that's able to score goals in the second half. But if you get the goals in the first half and you lock it down, then I guess it doesn't matter. But we're not the same free-flowing team that we were in the past, and maybe that's okay, right? It doesn't have to look the same, right? As long as you get the same results. And so if you see, did you watch the LB panel show on Sunday?
A little bit, yeah.
All right. So if anybody in the stream, if you are in the chat, if you watched it, you probably saw me, and I'm always, just kind of happy-go-lucky, whatever, kind of, whatever, not happy clapper, but just all, it's just easy going. But I kind of pushed back a little bit because we got the win on Saturday, and then we got to the panel show on Sunday, and it was just a lot of conversation about how it was a poor performance. Yes, we got the 3 points. But it was a poor performance. And I wasn't trying to negate that, but I just really, at this point in the season, and again, granted, there's still 10 games to go, but 3 points is what matters. And so maybe we didn't play our best. Maybe we're not at our free flowing best, but we did what we came to do, which is get 3 points.
Well, I know Sparkers will say it's Juju and whatnot, but I think Leeds overall, I think one thing that was crucial is it kind of felt like one of those, like, it was a really uphill battle for us, and that
I don't know
Leeds
else can. Oh, there you go. You kind of cut out for a minute.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, but you're good. You're back.
Yeah. It's basically what was going on, like, especially with Leeds. They were really up for it, and we're always going to struggle no matter what in that game. So yeah, it was just one of those games where you see if your luck runs out basically. And to be honest, for me, it was just one of those games where when we had our moment, we took it. We were really clinical. Cherky's ball to Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri was just put it on the plate for Semenyo, and he has that killer instinct just to be there in that moment. That's what's going to help us more than anything else, no matter what, no matter how hard it is, playing up from the back, or how we are in midfield and whatever. Just having that persistence and having that moment just to go, just to snap your fingers and it's a goal.
Yeah, I hear you, and you made a mention of Donnarumma and Spartacus, and I'm going to ask about that, but not now. I'm going to save that for later. But are you concerned? And again, not just last night or excuse me, Saturday, but going back to the Newcastle match before that as well. Are you concerned at all about the performances in how we are playing as opposed to just getting across the line. Let me ask this question. Should I be concerned about performances? Are you concerned about performances?
Well, did you watch? I don't know if you have the chance, but did you watch the embargo today by Pep?
I did not watch the second half. No, the embargoed part.
Pep, a couple of journalists, like they're really known, Sam Lee and Jack Gorn, they asked some really good questions about it. I love Pep's response to Jack Gorn about energy and like basically being like even if you're a manager at Manchester City, you still have your ups and downs. Which I like a guy like that because it just shows you're human.
Yeah.
Rather than having your whole you have the whole facade of like I'm fine, and then you have you have a breakdown. It's never good to have something like that. Yeah. And Pep's really the way it's going. Like he's really liking how it's going now and having the tactical aspect of changing things to help Donnarumma, to help the defenders, to help the midfield, to help the attack. Because if you said to me at the beginning of the season, we're going to play 3 forwards up front, I'm thinking, oh, those are going to be 3 wingers and 3 midfielders, but it's like two up front and a 10, and then like basically have it as a diamond.
Yeah,
it's like
kind of a 4-4-2 diamond.
I don't think people realize how good Pep is on the spot with like trying to think of things to change it around, because he did against Newcastle and Leeds than go do what Arsenal and Chelsea did on Sunday, which is why I always will back Pep to the day he leaves, because he wants to make solutions which are adaptable for him, and he knows he can get that. Yeah. He has that in him to be like that. That's why I like the last innovative like solution was when COVID was around, and he did the false 9, and no one saw it coming, and he just completely took the league by storm, and we nearly won a treble with winning the League Cup, winning the Premier League, and getting to the Champions League final. It shows how good he is, and he just changes on the spot, and no one knows what he's actually thinking.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I ask about, because again, on LB stream, I advocated for, it's all about 3 points over performance, points over performance, right? And on the flip side, the rest of the panel, but particularly Joe, was kind of more on the other side where performances matter. And I understand his point, because performances become outcomes over a long enough period of time. You can play bad in a game and still get victories. You can't play bad for a long period of time and not drop points. It's just not realistic, right? So I understand that standpoint, and the need to have better performances. Particularly, we do have 10 matches left. On one hand, you can say 10 matches is, what is that? We played 38 matches, so it's about a quarter of the season left, right? 25% is a decent amount, right? That's a decent amount of games left. So, you can't go into it thinking we can just skate by consistently. But for me, we were always going to have issues with Leeds away. And there was all the talk about Leeds away at night, after 5:30 or 8 or whatever the talk, right? All of that stuff is fine. And I think people were trying to add pressure or whatever. But the reality is that we went in there and did enough to get the win. And to me, that's what mattered. And I wanted to focus on that as opposed to any struggles or whatever else, right? Now, again, I understand. And again, so I say 3 points is all that matters. We watched today. Somebody brought it up earlier. I don't remember who it was, talking about, are we going to cook Liverpool? And cook may be a little too strong, but we're going to talk about them because at the end of the day, you want the 3 points. Liverpool didn't get the 3 points. They dropped 3 points today. Or actually, they dropped all 3 points. They didn't even just drop 2. They dropped all of them because they lost to a team that literally sits at the bottom of the table. They literally sit at the bottom of the table and are one of the historically worst teams to play in the Premier League. At least at one point they were, right? So on one hand, you just want to get across the line. Just give me 3 points. On the flip side, though, Liverpool probably thought, okay, well, at least we've done enough to come out of here with a point. And then you get a deflection in stoppage time. You get a deflection at the end of the game that effectively snatches away the point that you thought you had. And so I understand when we're playing these close matches, right? We went into Leeds. It was 1-0 at halftime. It was 1-0 at the end of the game. So we went 45 plus stoppage time, keeping a clean sheet, right? So, we kept the clean sheet the whole game, but in the second half, it was basically 0-0 the second half. My question, if your performances are bad, it only takes one mistake. That was what Joe was arguing, and I can't negate that. That's a valid point. If you keep a close game, you let a team stay in it, then anything can happen. You get a big deflection like we saw tonight with Liverpool, big deflection, wrong foot's the keeper, and boom, now you go from at least a point to 0 points. And again, it's not even like this was a good team. Historically, this team is not good. This is Wolves we're talking about. But they did enough in that moment to stay close and get a point. So I guess I'm arguing both sides of the argument here. On one hand, all that matters is just get the 3 points. But the only way to consistently get the 3 points is performances have to be decent enough. We have to have better performances. So on one hand, yeah, I want to see us play better, but just get across the line, man. Just give me 3 points. Big up my show, bro, Crunk Chocolate. Always glad to have you in the chat. As you know, the door is always open. Stage is always set. We queue up your mic whenever you're ready. We could have easily drew against Leeds, and this was the point that Joe was making. That yes, we got across the line, but anything could have happened, like we saw tonight. And if something happens, we go.
For Leeds, for example, it's basically the opposite. Is excuse me. For each Leeds, there's a Sunderland game as well, and I thought we really played well in that game, and we could have easily lost or won that game. That's the thing, because like Leeds are a really good team, Sunderland are a really good team, and there's no difference between those two performances. Against Sunderland, we didn't get the chances. What we did early on, but Bernardo was offside. Savinha should have scored a goal, but again, sometimes it's having that killer instinct and knowing when the chance comes. And Cherky knew to pass to Aït-Nouri, and yeah,
and I think there is so. Again, Cherky, who hasn't been playing a ton recently, but he demonstrates his individual brilliance. He makes a amazing pass, one that you would expect from a KDB of the world, that kind of a pass, a David Silva type pass. He makes a perfect through ball. Actually, it feels like he plays Aït-Nouri into that space, gets there, able to cross it, perfect, and it puts Aït-Nouri in a position where he doesn't have to think. He just boom, makes the cross, and Semenyo's in the right place. And so good things happen when you put the ball in good places. And so Nori was able to do that, but it all started from Cherky kind of pulling the strings and doing the his thing as the 10. So we'll see what happens, because again, we know, well, we'll get into next or tomorrow's game later, but what are we going to see when Haaland comes back? Is Haaland coming back into the lineup and Cherky going out? What is that going to look? Is it Marmoush going out? We don't know. We'll see. But you were going to say something else. Go ahead.
As for your point you're saying about Joe, maybe what happened earlier on in the season, like for example, Spurs, Brighton, Arsenal, Leverkusen, even though that was a different, like Leverkusen was completely different, but Glen, United, Chelsea, Brighton, like all the games that we've like dropped points in, maybe that's what, like maybe it's come at that moment because it's been lucky, like we've got it in those situations rather than because we're not a team that's like inexperienced. The players that we have, Donnarumma, Diaz, Rodri, Bernardo, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden to a certain extent, Tajani Reinders. We have players who have that know-how of being in the situation that we're in and knowing Gay as well to a certain extent for winning the FA Cup last season. We have players who know that even if the performance is not good enough, it's about the impact from the players and putting that effort in. Like I can't remember if it was West Ham or Wolves, but that Gahey block, like to keep a clean sheet, that showed how much they love the blocks, and it means so much to all the players. So it's always about having the impact to be there no matter what.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So I just want you to know that I saw this, and I am going to address this. Well, actually, let's go ahead and get into it now. So this team is the antithesis of a Pep team and his philosophy. Pep believes in defending with the ball by possession. This team has to defend without the ball because they can't keep possession. He goes on to say it's a long-standing issue, and I do believe it has to be solved if we're to achieve our ambitions. Magnus agrees and says it's going to be like this for the rest of the season, in my opinion. You might be right because it hasn't been solved yet. It's why I don't automatically dismiss Nobbins or Spartacus's gripes with Donna, even though I do like Donna. Donnarumma being the person we're talking about here, not some Donna in the chat. Yeah. So I guess I put a comment in here, and I wanted to talk about it because on one hand, it feels like every week when we're here, there's some fun ribbing of Spartacus because, you know, it's well known that he may not be Donnarumma's favorite or Donnarumma may not be his favorite player or whatever. And, you know, whatever. Right.
He has people he doesn't like. He likes less than Donnarumma.
He has people he likes less than Donnarumma.
Like,
do you know who those people are?
No, because their names should be not talked about because
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I have to ask the question of why is it that Donnarumma seems to be considered untouchable by some in our fan base? Now, this is not me suggesting that we should be ripping him because, you know, if you wear that blue or whatever color the keeper kits are, I don't even really pay that close attention, to be honest. What is it? Green and what?
Pink. I got the pink kit with Donnarumma on the back.
So pink and green, you could be a AKA. But that's another conversation that some of you probably don't even, it just probably went over your head, but that's okay. Pink and green. Oh, I think we might have brought him up. Big up Spartacus.
Safe
Evening,
man.
lads.
So
Evening.
I am going to give you a little bit of cover, and this is me asking the question, not Spartacus. All right, there's Crunk. Crunk is coming on. Big up, man. Appreciate you being here. Loving the hat. That's the New York Sky Blues MCFC. Magnus said he took the bait. Yeah, I put it out there and reeled him on in. It was easy. It was easy going. But I genuinely have this question.
Can I ask Quunk something really quickly? Did you watch some Raw last night?
Did I watch what? Sorry.
Watch what?
Raw last night.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
it
I did.
War,
Yeah.
Raw?
I need to have a chat with you about it because I can't believe it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, DM me. Let's talk some wrestling.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, Shades of Blue, we added the NW to the end of the name. So it's Shades of Blue NW, which really just says Shades of Blue Network, which says there are a lot of different shows underneath the Shades of Blue banner. One of which is your favorite wrestling podcast. Is that what it's called?
It is. Nailed it.
Yeah. I think I wanted to say I got it. I nailed it.
Underneath as well, I've put my favorite wrestler in there.
Yeah. So my favorite wrestling, or your favorite wrestling podcast, if you are into wrestling, you should be listening and watching that. I assume you put it on YouTube too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can go check that out. Just go to the Shades of Blue NW page and on YouTube. You can see that content. You can see our city content. You could see Arsenal content. You could see WSL content if you're into women's footy. We got all kinds of stuff over there that you can check out. So go hit that up. There's plenty of things for you to get into. And if you're not already a subscriber, what are you doing? You're late. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button over there too.
Win the league already, please.
So my question, that's coming. It's just a matter of time for the ladies. It's the men that we got to work this out. So, but so my question, and I mean this in a legit question way, not trying to rage bait or anything like that, not trying to throw shade at anybody, but why does it feel like you can talk about anybody on our team, but you can't say anything negative about Donnarumma? And again, this is not to suggest that Donnarumma is poor by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, he's probably saved us and won us some points that maybe we didn't deserve, and to a certain extent kept us in games and kept us in a title race that we probably, based on the full season, don't even deserve to be in, right? So this is not a bash Donnarumma question, but I need to understand why it is considered taboo to say that he has shortcomings, or to acknowledge what I see with my eyes, which is Pep putting Rodri and Bernardo in the box on goal kicks, because that's the only way we can get out of the back. We got to be able to have an honest conversation about what we're seeing. And again, this is not me saying that, hey, we should be starting James Trafford. We should be playing him because he's better with his feet. But you know what? Maybe there is a game where we're going to be super under the cosh because they're going to be pressing us from the jump, and we need a keeper who can help out with his feet a little bit more. And maybe there is a world where we should play James Trafford. There's no world where we have Ederson anymore. So, but what do you do? But my question is, why can't we even have this conversation without Spartacus being crucified?
To be fair, I'm going to be honest, currently, I think that the fan base is a lot more open to having this conversation than 6 months ago, probably. That's going to be a little bit of a shameless plug here. I have a show.
You've been doing the work evangelizing?
Pretty much, yes. I've been doing the show with Dax.
There's a few others. I can't remember their names, but they have been. I follow one who she's into Formula One as well, and she's been saying she's not happy with Donnarumma either.
So again, this is not to suggest not happy with Donnarumma. It's just to say that Donnarumma has got flaws like everybody else. And by Pep trying to minimize his flaws and maximize his strengths, which he should do as a manager, right? If you know you have a player that has a weakness in the area, you try to minimize that. If you know he has strengths in the area, you try to maximize that. But in order to minimize this, it's costing the team that. There's a cost for this stuff. And part of it is our inability to play out from the back. And so because we can't play out from the back, we can't keep possession, we can't control games. That's a conversation that should be okay to be had.
Well, even like a lot of people, when you bring this thing up, they just go like, yeah, we don't want to be playing out from the back anyway, so that isn't a problem. It's not good enough. We're playing in transition, so that doesn't matter. Against Leeds, as Miami said in Dab's show, I pointed out that it isn't necessarily about being able to keep possession. It's about being able to hit the transition faster and more efficiently. We against Leeds in those first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes where we just couldn't do anything. Like we're just kicking the ball long and hoping for a second ball. We were constantly 2 or 3 passes away from completely breaking Leeds' press, but all of those passes had to go through Donnarumma to get to the free man.
Also, there was another problem. Those like the first 5-10 minutes or so. I don't know what happened, but the players just seemed to slip a lot. That's how it felt to me. Like it was just like trying to get that possession, try and like get it in quicker. It just literally Rodri, Bernardo, Nico Riley. They just literally were like trying to get it, and it's just like falling over themselves.
Because the big issue then it becomes that with having to rush the play, the players are not with the right body shape to execute the actions because they're having to do everything under pressure. Back before we had Edison, when we had even Claudio Bravo, the players, they were able to take their time at controlling the ball, getting the right body shape, and then execute the next action properly. Right now, because the opposition knows that we're very predictable, right? Let's get the Leeds game as an example. The first thing we did is drop back both Bernardo and Rodri into the box so that they can take the free kick, the goal kick, and then play it out from there. The first time it worked because Calvert-Lewin got drawn into doing what should be the normal thing and cutting out the passing lane to Donnarumma and forcing Bernardo into going wide. And then Rodri just ghosted in behind him in his blind spot, and Bernardo could find Rodri. But then Rodri pressed into the space ahead. Leeds did something that is so simple but was so effective and completely nullified this. They just told both strikers to just don't care about Donnarumma. If they pass the ball to Donnarumma, let them pass the ball to Donnarumma. Just care about not losing Bernardo and Rodri from your sides. Be on their toes. Don't allow them to turn. Don't allow them to do anything. And this just completely destroyed what Pep was doing to the point that he gave up on it about 30 minutes into the game and went back to the traditional way of building the play. Because when you drop both sixes, they're really playing like sixes, both of them, into the box, you're taking bodies away from the midfield, and you're creating a bigger gap between your forward line and your midfield line, so that when you kick the ball long to try and find somebody ahead, there aren't as many bodies to fight for the second ball as it should have, because you brought 2 of them into the box to qualify your build-up structure. But with that not working and you're still needing to go long, now you're in an even worse situation when it comes to winning the second ball. And I think that was the big issue against Leeds.
No, that's fair. Big up Martin. Appreciate you. He should be convalescing. What?
What does convalescing mean?
I love that.
I feel like so it's one of those things where I have an idea.
Relaxing
right now.
Yeah, but it feels like convalescing is like you've been hurt, you've been injured, you need to be like.
Yeah, I'm seeing the procedure. Like, so,
did he have a procedure?
that's what someone is saying. But technically, if he's not on. So
okay,
he could just be lounging, laying back, like watching the screen or something. He's convalescing. I'm sure.
Well, you know what? This is probably not a good stream for you. If you are convalescing, if you are in if you're recovering from a injury or a procedure, this may not, because this might raise your blood pressure a little bit. And I remember being in the hospital and they got the cuff on you and they're trying to monitor. And if things go too far out of whack, they come running in the room and make sure everything is good. I don't want you getting in a bad way, man. So hopefully you're okay. He says he's in my private room, not NHS. So I don't know anything about NHS. I mean, I know what it is, obviously, but we don't have nationalized medicine over here. So
he said he's
so I don't know what bupa means, but basically what I hear you saying is, look, I'm going for that. I'm paying extra to make sure that I got my own little spot.
Martin.
So
flex.
Big up to you.
Tell him.
Big up to you. Put the Mancunian way money to good use. I ain't mad at you.
Stay healthy, mate. Still high.
Yeah. Hope you're good though. Hope you're good. Probably not in a spot to get on. But if you ever do, of course, you're always welcome. So yeah, I mean, I hear you. I hear you, Spartacus. And I think it's fair to say it's always been more than just one thing. It's not just, you can't just point to Donnarumma, although, again, like I said, when you have different people in, you have to play different ways, and you have to change what you're doing because of what you've got, whatever. So operation was great. Now recovering, should be home tomorrow. Good. Glad to know things went well. Hopefully you'll get home and no issues pop up, man. Appreciate it.
Let's Siggy's, mate.
All right. So again, my concern was, again, because I know you get a lot of stick, Spartacus, because you're one who's willing to call out what you see. And so I just wanted to know why we didn't think that that's okay. And again, no one's going to say, oh, you can't have his own opinion. And again, I don't think we should go to the other extreme either, where it's, where we're killing our own players. Because again, they're all going to have shortcomings. They're all going to make mistakes. They're all going to do all those things. Donnarumma's no exception, but we can't kill him, but we should be able to have honest conversations. And as a fan base, I hope that we're mature enough to be able to do that without it becoming a thing. So,
can I
that's what I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
So, like, normally, obviously under pressure, things get a little tense, but generally he is a better distributor than to me, I guess, than people made him seem like he was. Like, he has moments, obviously, when he has to do like the 20 plus yards, that is kind of when he gets a little 50-50, but the nice small passes, he does pretty decent at that. Like, it is obviously when the teams do the high pressing and they make him have to like pinpoint a pass, that is when things get a little bit tricky. But I still think he's done a little bit better in the passing than I was expecting.
So I think we're not going to be here long. Go ahead, stay up. Stay up. We're not going to be here long. He said he's bored, very bored. So let me tell you what I did when I was in the hospital. I was there for 4 days, and so I watched all of the. There was a channel that was on the hospital TV show, TV that had like all the 90s, all the old 90s shows. So I watched, well, I should say 90s, but 2000s, all the shows, right? So I watched a bunch of Crunk, you're gonna know. I watched a bunch of Sisters. No, not Sisters. What is I watched.
Is it Sister? Yeah, the two twins.
No. Well, that one didn't come on, but there was a lot of basically all the black shows. They had like a channel. They had all of them. So like
Living Single and stuff like that.
So Living Single. What's the one with Diana Ross's daughter? Oh, so Martin came on. Girlfriends came on. It literally was like all day. It was just old shows. So I just sat there watching all these old shows. I came home trying to find the channel. We don't have it on our normal thing. It was Girlfriends, yes. I was trying to find it locally because I've gotten so into it for those 4 days, and I just sit there and watch all these shows. And actually, I have a thought. So I have a thought about Arsenal fans that I am not ready to put into this show because I am going to turn it into its own video. But I have a very, very strong opinion, and I'm going to tie it to a episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's hilarious. I Love Lucy, Mr. Ed. How old are you, house captain?
Yeah. Golden Girls. Let's go. I love it. What's the one, the older not it was
Never
Blanche. But the one old lady who was like giving everybody the business. She was telling everybody did things. So there's a good show. Anyway, enough about TV.
Enough about
so
that. I said
so. What'd you say? Crunk, what'd you say?
I was like, I'm over. I meant to say I'm over the whole Donnarumma talk, but I actually said Ederson. But like a Freudian slip. I miss him. I miss you, my boy.
See, got Sophia and Rose. I don't remember which one. I'm gonna have to go look it up. Okay, Sophia.
Maybe Sophia.
Yeah, Dorothy's mom. Yes,
Dorothy's mom.
She her just like her banter and that's what made the show great, you know. So yeah. Anyway, so we talked about the match against Leeds. We talked about a little bit about Donnarumma, which I actually kind of wasn't going to go right away, but we talked about it already, so that's whatever. Obviously, we play tomorrow. What are you expecting? So first of all, did Pep say anything more recently about Haaland, his availability? Last I heard was that they hadn't trained. They hadn't trained, and so they were going to train today, and they were going to see.
He was unbelievably sarcastic. It was his first question, and he said, "We won 1-0 without Haaland. We don't need Haaland anymore," or something along those lines.
Fair enough.
Like, when he's sarcastic, there's no one better who does it than him.
Yeah. So Snoopy says that Haaland was in the training pics. Okay. I knew they said they were going to try to train with him today and see if he was able to be back. Now, let's pause before we go into the game against Nottingham Forest. Let's actually talk about Erling Haaland. So we play Leeds. He's not available. There's a lot of rumors about why he's not available. One of those is that he was injured while hanging out with sidemen and KSI and doing this whole video thing.
I think he did that because he was already injured, honestly.
So let me ask this question. Did anybody watch those videos? No. Anybody?
I haven't watched sidemen in years.
So I don't even know who sidemen are. I've heard the name KSI, but I don't really know. But I will tell you that I watched these videos.
There's seven of them.
Yeah,
together.
I watched the videos only to see if, in fact, he actually got injured in this. Because I was gonna. So let's be honest. I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna be ticked. I'm gonna be heated if this man gets injured in a YouTube streamer or whatever, right? I would have been ticked. So, of course, nothing like that happens. But I guess my question, first of all, does it bother you that and again, maybe you're right, Crunk. Maybe he's already injured. He can't play. So he might as well just hang out with the sidemen, whatever, right?
Now, on Wednesday, they always do those things. They always do it. They always film them on the Wednesday before they get done on the Sunday.
So I don't know. Okay, so He says he was injured in training. He was limping in the Sidemen video. I didn't see him limping, but I may very well have not been paying close enough attention. City Slacker says, look, man, I'm 55. I don't even know these names. I'm not too far off of you. You do got me beat. You do got me beat, but not by a whole lot. But I don't really know these people either.
About to come for his head.
Big up, Kelkster. But I actually sat down and watched all these videos because I was gonna be upset. So so I wanted to see if he I promise you I was gonna be, again, if you get injured, that's one thing, but don't get injured shooting videos that you're not supposed to, why are we but again, is anybody concerned about his focus in a title run-in, and you're going to hang out with KSI and Sidemen?
Oh, man, you got to relax with how stressful seasons are. City not struggling, but they have been behind Arsenal this entire season. Pep has the 2 weeks that they had off for being able to be in the top 8 of the Champions League. He has stressed the importance of the people hanging out, doing nothing, having fun, relaxing, go have some caipirinhas, go have some daiquiris. Like Pep is being like, have some fun, go laugh. You need to kind of forget football exists. I mean, they recorded it at Man City's facility. So, I mean, he's aware of what's going on. Worst case, if he hurt himself, physios are probably behind the camera just watching, being like, chill out. So, I don't know. I'm on the side where they need to find joy where they can, because Pep is going to make sure people are focused, that they're locked in. At least that's just me.
Big up to the folks over at MHF, Mo and Hussam. Really appreciate both of them and everybody for the raid. Thank you for being here. This is my channel, and we're usually talk a lot about City. So glad you're here. But I'm open to talk about anything that you want to do. On Tuesday nights, this is what I call Talk Back Tuesday. This is a chance for anybody to come on stream with me and have your say about whether it's the weekend. If I say something about Arsenal and you don't agree, feel free to come on and say something about it. Tell me about myself. But of course, be respectful. So is Hussam actually in the chat? Because if he is, I want him to know that he had a lot to say yesterday about City, and he was talking strong about how they were guaranteed to be in the top 5. And I think I heard Carefree Lewis call him on stream to tell him about himself, because he was saying Chelsea was going to drop out. So I don't know if he's in here or not, but if he is, I'm hope you're okay, man, because I'm sure that hurt today. Anyway,
Liverpool.
What'd you say?
I said Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah. L. Anyway, so I was watching these videos because, again, I wanted to know what, and like I said, I was a little concerned about his focus, but I get it. And, the club is trying to continue to raise his profile, all those things, right? So it is what it is. They did this thing. It was a segment called Find the Footballer. And they had these players that were supposedly footballers, and so they had to figure out which one was the professional, whatever. And when they actually did the reveal, there were people that played on Saturday League, and then there were people who played on Sunday League. I know what Sunday League is. I've heard about it. I'm assuming that these are just because you can play at different days. Is there any difference between Saturday League and Sunday League? Look, if you're new here, I'm from the U.S. I don't know about this. All right, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand footy culture at its most grassroots. So is Saturday League and Sunday League the same? You just play different days? Or is there like a tier where Saturday League is not as good as Sunday League or whatever? You don't know? You're the resident UK British. I think that's the right word.
It's like Sunday League. Like Sunday League is well more known, to be honest, and it's always been chaotic. It's a bit of a retro, like bit more retro. But I'm more about kickabout. But the last time, like I never whenever I try and play football. The last time I played on concrete, I nearly cracked my back of my skull. So anything concrete, I'm like, yeah. I basically relaxed my head and did a reflex, and everyone heard it. Went ooh, and it's like, yeah, we got a cut.
Yeah.
So whenever it's concrete, I never go to those anymore because I'm just like, I'm worried that yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I was trying to understand because I've heard everybody talk about Sunday League, but I've never heard anybody say anything about Saturday League. So I just didn't know. I'm trying to understand. So if I come over there, what league can I play in? An overweight? Well, not as overweight as I used to be. I've lost a lot of weight after my being in the hospital. So
you can do Sunday. You can do Sunday or Saturday.
Can I do Sunday League?
Yes, yeah.
I got to figure out my touch.
Sunday is supposed to be like it's pretty chill. Like obviously there's levels.
I don't know. Some of these videos are pretty intense.
Well, I mean,
it's like full.
Yeah,
like,
there we go.
If you want to go retro, like 90s, whatever, English 90s.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. So Saturday is professional and Sunday is amateur. Like Saturday usually has a better standard leagues, in my opinion. Sunday league is full of beer. Okay, so now if I go over there, we got to get us a team in the Sunday league over there. Trump.
Yeah, like that's why everybody like loses their minds when something crazy happens on a Sunday league because it shouldn't be happening there. So when it does, you're just like, oh.
Okay, so now we know what we're striving for. We don't have that over here. Maybe the country's just.
We kind of have
maybe
the country's just too big.
Well, but I was gonna say, but like in footy though. And we have like leagues. We have leagues.
Are those?
Yeah.
It depends. They used to have that kind of stuff in the Bay, but it was primarily Latin Americans.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably what it is. Fair enough. But I love this comment because I was talking about
the Hangover League.
I was talking about Haaland and questioning if we should be concerned about his focus. Because he's out here shooting videos with these streamers. And Cisco Poncho 2411 says, come on, I'm on an age where Rodman was with the Bulls and would take breaks to Vegas during title runs. Some dudes are just wired different. And you know what? That works perfectly for me because I'm of the same age. So this right here, yeah, if you're telling me Haaland just needs that he's just built different. Okay, I get it. This is a perfect analogy for me. I got it. Appreciate that. Martin says Saturday and Sunday is amateur. To be honest, spent 11 years managing weekends. That's what's up. That's what's up. Anyway, all right. So we got the game this tomorrow. We go tomorrow. We go to no, actually, we are home. I believe tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. So we started down this path. I asked about Haaland, and then I kind of got sidetracked because shiny objects.
You're gonna go down the rabbit hole, don't you, from time to time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shiny objects get distracted easy. Probably why I shouldn't be hosting. But what do you do? It's your channel. You got to host. Anyway, so do we know? You said he had a kind of a sarcastic comment that Haaland, we don't need Haaland. We saw people say that Haaland was in training. So assuming Haaland is back for tomorrow, who comes out of the lineup for him to come in your mind?
Apparently Nico Riley, like there was I don't know if you follow him, the FPL account, who has basically all the insight. Apart from
I saw that, but I don't know if I trust it. Oh, you think it's a valid or
he said Haaland's okay. The one that I found interesting is he didn't put Nico Riley in there as well.
Nico's been going down a lot, grabbing his ankle. Like I feel like he's been kind of powering through some stuff for a while, if we're being honest. So
Real Mario FFX says it's got to be Marmouche that drops out.
I would say Marmouche is probably the one to come out. He just doesn't.
Magnus says Marmouche more than likely. Lee Johnston says, "Yep, Marmouche for me." So what this says is people want to see Cherky stay in the lineup. Just get that right side. Emmanuel on the left, and then of course Haaland through the middle. And again, if we go more with that 4-4-2, then so you want to see Foden. You're bringing Cherky out.
See, that's what I can't decide on. I just want Foden to play. I still back Phil Foden, and he can't just be on the bench. This guy carried us to a title 2 years ago. He doesn't deserve to be benched all the time. So I want to see him integrated back into the team. And I keep hearing about how many minutes he's played, but he hasn't played a lot of minutes lately. He didn't feature at all against Leeds. He didn't feature at all against Liverpool. He played 2 minutes against Wolves. Like, that's not a lot of minutes for Phil Foden. I want him back in the team somehow. I don't know how he's going to play, but I want him in the team somewhere.
But right now, the skill set that Foden has is not what we need. We need dual winners all over the pitch because we don't know where the duels are going to be. And Foden is not a dual winner. So we need to have those powerful players everywhere across the pitch so that we can try and win the second balls, because we don't know what the second ball fight will be. If we can't pinpoint where it's going to be, then we don't need it everywhere. But because we can't do that at the moment, it means that we have to just put 11 dual winners all over the place.
But
we don't have 11 dual winners, though.
Do you think that? Are you suggesting that Turkey is a dual winner?
He's not.
No, but I don't think he would have started if Haaland was fit.
Okay, that's fair. So I guess. So I hear what Kelkster is saying, and I personally want Phil to play because I just love Phil Foden, right? I love him. I love his story coming through the academy, seeing the pictures of him as a little kid on the sideline as a ball boy. That is an amazing story. But Martin, who's listening from a hospital bed, would tell us that we can't be player FC. And normally he says that when we're having a conversation, we're killing somebody because, we're killing Foden because we want Turkey, or we're killing, Marmoush because we want Semenyo, just making up stuff, right? But in this case, are we being player FC by asking for Phil when maybe performances don't deserve to play?
Yes.
A little bit, yes. But again, I don't think that this is not... I think the wording of performances don't justify. I don't think it's true because I think he's performed very well. I just think it's one of those situations where you have to think about the skill set of the player over the quality of the player. Mm-hmm. Phil Foden is a player who thrives in those small spaces and is brilliant at getting in those little pockets of space. But if there is no pockets of space for him to get into, then that skill set is null and void, which is what's going on at the moment. There is no pocket of space for players to get into because we're facing 11v11 man-to-man presses. So, unfortunately, right now for Phil Foden, he's going to have a spell on the sidelines.
Do you think that changes next season?
I don't know.
Then why are we giving him a new contract? If you say that the skill set he has is not going to be, is like the Premier League is changing and maybe those spaces aren't going to be there for him.
Not the Premier League is changing. You can always create pockets of spaces if you have the right players in your 11. We don't have those players in our 11. So,
and this all stems back to a certain player whose name we're not going to mention.
Technical ability will always find a place in the squad as long as you build the squad.
Maybe
as long as you build the squad for technical. No, Phil Foden is way more technically gifted than Ryan Cherky. But if you don't build the squad,
wait, we're
advocating for technicalities and we're benching our best
for a second because
I'm with him. I'm with
something else.
I'm with Spartacus.
Hold on, I need to hear what you just said again. Repeat it.
Technical ability is not skill move. Skill moves, Cherky's all over Foden, but technical ability is the ability to keep control inside spaces, to dribble into the gaps, to put the fast touch, quick passing moves. If you think technical ability, think Iniesta. This is the personification of technical ability. Think Zidane. If you think skill moves, think Ronaldinho, Ryan Cherky, more of the skill move type of guy. So Cherky he's technically gifted as hell as well, by the way. Like, I'm not saying that he's not technically gifted, but I'm just saying that Phil Foden is a freakishly good player in that regard. Probably like top 3 on the planet at the moment, just behind Vitinha and Pedri in that regard. But if we don't build the side for those technically gifted players to thrive, then they're not going to have the space to do it. And we're just not doing it at the moment. We didn't build a side for Foden. And so he's going to have to be on the bench for a little while. If we can fix that in the long run, brilliant. If we can't, we're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm going to get out of here, though. It's always good to see all of you people. Hope you are
You got
well.
a reporting to do, don't you?
Yes, sir. Very shortly. Everybody in the chats, if you haven't liked the video, subscribe, show them some love.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate that, y'all. Yep. See you
later. That was Crunk Chocolate from Shades of Blue. If you haven't already subscribed, you don't know who he is, go check it out. It's one of my show bros where I stream with them as well.
Shout out that hat he's wearing. I was actually I actually met Crunk that night in New York City at the bar.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
When he bought that hat, I remember him buying that hat.
Yeah. So I shouted it out when he first came on. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's dope. I love that. And then it's one of those things where unless you go to New York, it's kind of hard to get one of those. So if someone from New York Sky Blues is listening and watching and you want to send one to your boy, I will rock it on screen. We're getting out of winter. So, but I will wear it nonetheless. So go ahead, send that over. Anyway.
Man City Spider-Man hat for me, please.
People can tear Foden all they want. There's a reason top clubs all over have asked about him. And I don't think that
we're advocating for him here.
Yeah, I'm not. I hope this doesn't come across as killing or tearing down Phil Foden. I tried to say from the beginning that Phil Foden I love him. I love the story. I love what he represents because he is quintessential, for me at least, he is quintessential Manchester City. He has always been Man City. I believe he probably always will be Man City. But we're having a conversation about it because at the end of the day, he hasn't been playing. And the only way I don't know how he gets back on the pitch because Turkey was good when he came in.
The two of them were great when they were playing together.
Yeah.
Now they're both on the bench.
But that was before we went to this midfield with Nico O'Reilly, Rodri, and Bernardo. Once he solidified on that kind of dried up their minutes and their moments on the pitch, it seems.
But I also think that there are two things in play in this one as well. I think in the early days of the season, sides were still a little bit more cautious into going into man-for-man situation with City because they had that PTSD of the previous interactions of City, the previous cities. Now I don't think they're as scared of doing that anymore. And we're seeing with Leeds, like they're willing to do it from the first minute of the game. So I think that was a different time.
I think last season was the first time teams realised they could get at us as well.
Disagree with the man-to-man situation. Completely wrong.
Just in general, like knowing that, like last season, like and then like from podcast I listened to recently, it's the continuation from last season into this season sort of thing, which is why we like the two are basically like intertwined with each other, and yeah, it's why we really struggled and we didn't get as much as good performances as we did last season, and it's basically been the same this season, to a lesser or a certain extent.
Tactically speaking, that's not true though, because if you go through last season, we were being punished when we had a lot of the possession in transitions. So every time, the only time that we were consistently outplaying sides were when we were facing these man-to-man presses, when Edison could find the ball over the top to a player. And I think he got the most assists of all time for any goalkeeper in the English game ever in that season. So we consistently destroyed every side that played the man-to-man press against us last season. This season is a different thing. They started the season with the intent of doing that deeper defending style of play, but with Chucky and Phil, we were demolishing that. And then they started to do this more high press situation. And that's where we really, really struggle at the moment. It's kind of the opposite. Maybe the other sides they figured out that City are not unbeatable last season, but the way that we're being quote unquote beaten or being approached as is not the same as last season at all. And I think there's also a big part in Josko Vardio not being fit. For as good as Gay he is, he's not Josko Vardio. So not having him on the side really limits our options on that left-hand side. So we have to try to circumvent that in a way. And I think that more robust midfield is a way of trying to do that.
Real quick, let me do this. I know there's a lot of you, this may be your first time here, and I certainly appreciate you being here. I do want to ask you to do me a favor, though. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It will do wonders for me. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers. I am probably about 160 off. So, you know, we might be able to knock that out tonight. Y'all just go ahead and get on that, and it'll be over with tonight. I'll be at 500 tomorrow. We all celebrate. We have a great time. As a matter of fact, we can get to 500 tonight, and then we can go beat Nottingham Forest tomorrow. It'll make it a perfect win-win situation. So y'all go ahead, help your boy out. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It will make me feel so much better. But definitely hope that you're enjoying yourself. I want you to hit the button because I hope you enjoy yourself and you enjoy being here. I do this every Tuesday night, so you know, always welcome to come back, even if MHF don't send you over. Go ahead, Kelks. Tell me about what you expect to see tomorrow.
I think I expect to win. Their team, we're at home. We should be beating them. They're not a very good team, so I expect to win. You know.
So
what's this basketball coach? Just win, baby. Al Davis, just win, baby.
Just win.
Not basketball.
But football, yeah.
The Raiders. Ugh.
Yeah.
I feel disgusting bringing him up, but you know.
So again, I asked the question that I asked earlier on. Sunday, a lot of City fans were talking about, or you know, content creators, whatever, panel show that I was on, having a big conversation about performance versus just getting 3 points. A lot of people feel like we should go and beat them pretty comfortably tomorrow. Do you agree with that?
I don't care. I just want to win.
I think the game should be pretty comfortable because I think it's way too early in the season for us to be saying all we need is results. If you keep that mindset for 10 games, you're not going to you're going to drop points in those games. At least one of them.
It depends what game it is, and for me it's today, but for you guys it's tomorrow. So it's basically tomorrow for you guys. It's win comfortably, just for the goal difference. That's what I'm thinking about tomorrow. Well, for me today, yeah. So
you're concerned about goal difference. So we need to run up a ideally 3 or more goal victory margin tomorrow.
Yeah, because then it's Go
on, Louis.
No, I was just basically finishing. Then it's just basically we only got it's like +4 for them. So yeah, go on.
I'm not looking much into the goal difference side of the game. I'm not looking much into the result tomorrow. I'm looking at the performance. I think we need to have a pretty convincing performance tomorrow. I think we need to be able to just put our foot on the game and just say to Forest, you're not playing today. And I think that doesn't necessarily translate into beating them like 5-0, 6-0. It's just when you go out of the game, it could be even a 1-0. But you just go out of the game thinking, yeah, we've dominated this game. We've really done. We played what we wanted to do. We didn't allow the opposition to do what they wanted to. And that's how we won the game. I think this is the type of performance we need tomorrow. I think we need to start putting those together, especially if we want to win the league, do anything like that. Yeah.
I just don't think this side that we're playing right now is capable of that. It's just too conservative for me. There's not enough creativity in that midfield at all. So I don't expect us to go out and like kick somebody's butt. Like I don't expect a 5-0. I do think we'll win, but I think it'll probably be another tight game because I think we're sacrificing creativity and goal scoring for defense. And I don't know if this is necessarily the game you need to do. I mean, I get that when you're away from the Etihad, but when you're at the Etihad, I would prefer a go for it lineup.
So what changes for you now? Assuming that everybody's available, you want to see a quote unquote go for it lineup. What changes would you want to see? You mentioned Phil Foden.
I would play Foden and Turkey together and try and feed on that again. And we won't because I know Forest have a very physical midfield, so we'll probably go more conservative. A lot of that depends on if Nico Riley's available, but I would love to see Nico Gonzalez get some minutes. You know, if we're winning the game late, take Rodri off and let him rest. Nico G needs to be ready to go because if something does happen to Rodri again, you want him fresh and ready to go. You don't want him to come in and stumble because if he does that in a game that, if he does that, we drop points. That could be us out of the title race potentially because we're still on that. We're still on the, we're still very close there. It's not like we're still behind, so we have to pick up every point that we can. So I would if we're winning late in the game, I would like to see Nico Gonzalez play some minutes, even if it's only 20 minutes or something like that. It's something. Get something into his legs. He hasn't played in a long time. And he has to, this is going to take a squad to win the league. So, use it, take some of these legs off and use Nico G a little bit. I'm not saying start him. I'm just saying use him in the game a little bit. And, but yeah, we'll see. I just want to win the game. I'm not overly concerned about the performance. I just don't think this team is going to really I don't think this is the time of year to look for a good performance. I think this is the time of year you just look for a result. And so as long as we get 3 points, I don't really care how.
Yeah. So I asked the question earlier. Again, we were having this conversation a little bit, similar conversation, but I asked how many, so you just said, at this point in the season, it's just about performances. Is 10 matches left, including tomorrow? Is that too many? Because I made the statement that over a period of time, outcomes will follow performances. It's one thing to have a poor performance, but you still get a good outcome in 1 or 2 games. You can do that. You can kind of BS your way through it or whatever, right? Over a consistent, if we got 10 games left, if we don't perform at a decent level over 10 games, I think it's kind of hard to expect to kind of BS your way through 10 whole matches. How do you ensure that you get the outcome you want if you don't have better performances?
That just directed at anybody, but
I kind of was directed to you because we were talking about performances and just wanting to get 3 points, and so I'm with you, but I also understand that there is a need for us to be improved, and again, that may not look like a 4-0 to Spartacus's point. It may just look like, hey, it still was a 2-0, but the way we got through that 2-0 was different.
I mean, just like we're in a title race now. The games are going to start coming thick and fast. So for me, it's just about result.
Okay. So this okay. So somebody else said it'll be interesting to see Anderson and to a lesser extent Morgan Gibbs White tomorrow. Martin saying enjoy Rodri while you can. Magnus said Rodri will get his rest when he's suspended. Arsenal fans are saying that he's never going to get suspended because PGMOL and Premier League want us to win. So it may never happen. But I guess my question, just sticking to Rodri for a moment, we've all had this conversation multiple times because Martin comes on and Martin feeds, or we're on Martin's channel and he's feeding us this information.
He DM'd me about an hour ago about this, by the way.
So I guess again, and so my question would be, and I saw this earlier today, so I'm going to pull this up real quick because I saw this, and again, real Tommy's hairdo. I don't know how much stock people put into what Tommy says. Again, when I became a City fan back in 2013, I was trying to learn everything that I could about the club. I went to Blue Moon Forum, and I was out there reading everything I could, trying to decipher Tommy's post on there. It's a lot more straightforward on Twitter, let me say, than it was trying to decipher CDs and YouTube videos and whatever else. Anyway, Tommy says City are willing to make Rodri the second highest paid player at the Etihad, behind Erling Haaland on $375,000 a week. The player has been focused on his fitness, but his camp has provided positive noises. He still wants to stay and commit the remainder of his peak years. So what I've heard from you, Martin, is that, well, he hasn't signed the contract yet. What's the delay? What's the holdup? And so this is saying that, well, the holdup again has been his fitness, which we've always heard from the very beginning. There's a contract for 375. He's, that we're willing to make. He's still committed, but then, he still wants to stay, commit the rest of his remaining years. Then I hear you say, well, Fabrizio said the opposite. I haven't seen Fabrizio. Is it on Twitter? Has anybody seen it?
It was on his YouTube last night before.
On YouTube.
By was it Saltafigo or like Kelsey, you on the stream with Luke? They got beat by Getafe.
I don't remember it.
They got beat by Getafe 1-0.
Oh yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember watching the video. I have a terrible memory, just in case anybody hasn't figured that one out. I'm probably going to die of a young age of bad memory.
Can I swear very quickly?
Can you swear? Is that what you asked?
Is it about Donnarumma?
No, it's about Rudiger.
Oh yeah, that guy's a see you next Tuesday.
No,
Fuck Rudiger.
Yeah.
What did he do? What did he do this time?
Look at him
somebody in the head or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, when he stomped on the guy's head, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Rudiger.
Yeah,
hate that guy.
Fun.
Well, we're gonna get our chances against him here not too long from now.
I said it because I know apparently it's a slight on a woman, so I'm going to say it, and therefore it's allowed.
Okay. That wasn't me.
I'm not offended by that term, just so you know.
I didn't ask you to. I'm not going to have you repeat it. We're just going to move on. Like I didn't really hear it, so we're just going to keep moving.
It's perfect. Everybody's happy.
So tomorrow we go up against Nottingham Forest. We're talking about Anderson. I think there is a assumption by our fan base that we are going to get Anderson. I see that you sent me a video on WhatsApp. I don't know how to pull that up. I don't even know if I should pull it up, if I'm going to get a copyright strike or something like that. If I do,
it's on the I think it's of the challenge that Rudiger did. He should have been sent off, but
he probably didn't even get booked.
Yeah, he didn't.
No,
if anybody thinks that all those players on Madrid who are in danger of missing the second leg because of the yellow card suspension, I'll just give you a spoiler: they're not going to get booked at the Bernabeu, and they will play the second leg.
Does Champions League matter?
Zero chance they're going to suspend
Champions League doesn't matter about domestic yellow cards, does it?
No, but they are booked in the Champions League. They're booked in the Champions League.
Yeah, they got booked in the earlier rounds. So it hasn't. I think it resets. I think it resets. At the quarterfinals, not the round of 16. Or is it the semis?
I think what Kel is saying is that because if they get a yellow card in the first leg, some of their players cannot play the second leg because of yellow card accumulation. But if people actually believe that they're going to get yellow cards, then
I got a bridge to sell you.
So they won't get a yellow against us. Okay, I got you. I'm with you. I thought she was saying that they won't get one, in like a game coming up ahead of that. So
against us. No, against us.
Yeah, I think,
that's not going to happen.
I think
You're right.
Vinicius Jr. is in danger. Like if he gets one, that guarantees he won't get one. He's more likely to draw a penalty than he is to get a yellow card. I don't.
Vini Jr. and Mbappe should be sent off about one every 4 games just from diving. like accumulation to yellow cards just from diving. That's how mental the situation is with them.
I don't even think they get booked for diving ever.
I was saying
No,
They dive at least once a
very,
game.
very seldom, if ever. But I've heard that. So is it? Do we believe that? So I saw Rodrigo is going to be out because of ACL.
oh
I had
yeah, he's
also
fully out.
seen. I had also seen
he's
that
not coming.
Mbappe was going to be out because potentially knee injury,
Injury.
potentially ACL as well.
I just heard that he might need surgery, but I don't
Okay.
know what the
Yeah.
issue was.
He has had.
I can see Madrid rushing Mbappe back, but he would be there. He would be like 50% fit at best.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
So would he be enough? So would he be enough to Martin in that sense?
Well, the good news is you have a defensive specialist if one of them play.
Yes,
We
I
did
did
play the
see
Bernabeu last
this.
season very well.
Cisco
The question
says
is,
that
doesn't
Bellingham
Mbappe-
is out as well. Don't forget about Bellingham being
What
out.
happened to
But he
Bellingham?
is shit.
He's
Bellingham
out
is
till
shit.
April. Out till April.
What did he do?
I don't remember.
I think he had a knee issue as well. Not sure.
They're gonna play at the Bernabeu the first leg, so it's not like the referee's gonna give yellows to them.
They're not going to
because
give
the crowd's not gonna let them.
Yeah, like I said, Vinicius Jr. is more likely to draw a penalty and some bogus penalty than he is to get booked for anything. He could probably go punch a guy and not get away with it.
I think there's a little bit too much attention to. I saw a video today of him. I guess he had lost the ball and was like talking to the fans, and because the fans kind of got on him, and he was like literally having a conversation with the fans or whatever, while play is going the other way. I don't know how you can keep doing that kind of stuff and not be and it not be like a big deal. Well, maybe given all this news, it was better to draw Real Madrid than Bodo Glimt. You know what? There might be something to this. If again, no one wants other teams to be hurt or whatever, that's fine. I understand that. We're not rooting for injuries. We're just stating the fact there are injuries. And so, yeah, it's probably better to play a severely weakened Real Madrid team than that Bodo Glimt team, especially in Bodo, or in wherever the name of the city is. I don't know if it's Bodo or not.
I don't think anybody wanted us to play on that plastic pitch again, especially in this kind of weather. Nobody wants to go back up to Norway. Going to Spain, it's nice and warm. Also, I think stylistically, we just did not mesh well with Bodo Glimt. That style is just designed. That just feeds on all of our weaknesses. And Real Madrid don't really have tactics. So
when I said that I would rather face Madrid than Bodo Glimt, I already knew that Mbappe was likely not going to play. But I also said that. But I also think that Madrid just has no. They have no possibility of doing the man-to-man press. And Bodo Glimt has. So there is no way that Madrid should be able to beat us because they don't do what we're weak against.
Okay. We're going to hold you to that. I don't know what we're hour and 30 in. We're going to hold you to that. We're going to clip that. And if we lose, I'm going to pull it back out and I'm going to use it as a stick to beat you with.
Please do.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say I told you so.
Also, there's a hot take. You know who would be terrible, who I think would stylistically not match up well at all with Bodo Glimt is a team they could be facing if they both advance, and that's Arsenal. Bodo Glimt upsetting Arsenal on route to winning the Champions League. We will be there.
That would be hilarious. I would
be less it would less probable than Leicester winning the Premier League if Bodo Glimt somehow won the Champions League.
Yeah.
And if Bodo Glimt win a Champions League before Arsenal,
God.
I'm getting canceled on YouTube by
I don't think that Bodo Glimt will beat Arsenal because I just don't set myself up for to be disappointed like that.
Both legs are over the tie.
I'm talking about over the course of the tie. But it would be so great if that were to happen because there was so much discussion about them getting the easy side of the bracket, the easy draw. and how easy their path to the final was going to be. That if they were to go out early, especially if they go out in this first match or this first, tie against Bodo Glimt, that would be like demoralizing for them. But sticking with Arsenal for a moment, there's a lot of conversation right now about playing style, whether it's set piece FC, all the WWE wrestling that's happening in the box. So Louis and Roman Reigns and fit perfectly in there. My question for you is not about do you like their style, because of course I don't expect you to, but do you think I think that they care way too much about what other people think. Like I said, I got a video I'm going to put together later to talk about it. But I think they as fans, not the club, not the players, fans are way too concerned, and maybe even a little bit of the club, because I saw Arteta's comments earlier today. Do they care too much about what other people think about how they play?
Yeah.
Kels, you've been on these streams.
So, yes.
You've been on these streams with these Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
They're always in a tizzy because, well, what you called a set piece FC, and you said this and you said that. You go on X or Twitter or whatever. All you see is, because my feed is mostly all soccer or all football. So again, all I see is Arsenal fans got something to say. I just think they care too much.
Yeah.
Did you see that they were voted as the most disliked fan base in Prem?
Go ahead, Spartacus. What were you saying?
Did you see that they got voted as the most disliked fan base in the Prem?
I did see that. I saw that image, and I saw it was Ty from.
I don't trust it. I always say that the three red teams. I always say they're 1, 2, 3.
Well, I just find it hilarious that Arsenal's the most hated one.
Yeah, they said Arsenal was the most hated. I saw that picture. I don't know if I saved it on or bookmarked it so I can get back to it easy, but I did see that. And I know there was a lot of discussion about the fact that they had Ty's picture on there. But again, I just think he's, being representative of a fan base that has upset a lot of people, or for whatever reason upsets a lot of people. But I guess my issue is, why do you care what people think? Do you know how often City was called boring when we were winning on our way to trebles and domestic quadruples and all of that stuff? How? Why do you care? When City were boring, we were boring because, well, we already know what's going to happen. They win too much, or I don't like City because it's too many sideways passes, or I don't like City because they're not direct enough. Who cares what they think? Oh, but they're set piece FC. Why does Arsenal fans care what I, as a City fan, think about them? It's ridiculous to think about. They spend so much mental capacity thinking about what I think about them. Just go win. I mean, not that they can control it because of the players, but why do you care? They have this innate sense and need to be validated by rival fans saying, "Oh no, you guys are good. Oh no, you guys are great. We love the way you play. It's okay that you wrestle in the box." No, nobody has a problem with that. You're not going to get people to say that, so stop trying.
They're just having issues. They're just having an inferiority complex. Like they've in their head have declared that they've been the best team for the past 3 seasons. They have won absolutely nothing. So they just seem to demand respect for not winning anything. And they're just looking for anything. They're grasping at straws. And some of the stuff I see from certain people, they're like, wow, the new theory I'm hearing is that Arsenal are the protagonist of the Premier League, and because nobody can stop talking about them. And I'm just
exactly.
I throw Don Draper on it to them. I'm like, I don't think about you at all. I don't watch their games because I think their football is so horrible. I just don't pay attention to them. I don't pay attention to the reaction to them. I if I'm going on those panels, I used to talk a lot of smack, and I still kind of do just to rattle them. They're so easy to rattle. It's kind of crazy. But like, I don't watch their games. It's just so I just don't enjoy it. I just have found this season I don't enjoy the Premier League anymore. I've been watching other leagues and I'm finding it's way more enjoyable football. Like first and foremost, I'm trying to be entertained.
Big up Silent Violence Forever. It's not just Arsenal. I think that's just English football culture, in my opinion. Respect from Trinidad and Tobago. Appreciate the message. Yeah, I what'd you say?
Oh no, I was wondering. This guy's from Trinidad. There's a guy I stream with a lot with Strasbourg. Steve his name is Keeks. He's also from Trinidad. He's an Atletico Madrid fan.
Okay, there you go.
I doubt that's him, but you never know.
Silent Violence Forever.
You never know.
Silent Violence Forever. I don't know. But
the WWE reference, by the way.
Hold on. But big up. I appreciate you for being on here. I know you probably came over from MHF. I appreciate you hanging out and staying. I also know that there's probably people on here who might be Arsenal fans, and you probably disagree about how I am characterizing you as a fan base. I don't expect you to agree. I expect you to disagree, as a matter of fact. If you want to come on stream and disagree on the stream, you're more than welcome to do that. I will be respectful. These folks will be respectful. I hope you'll be respectful. We can have a conversation about it. But I just think that as a fan base, are way, way, way too caught up in what everybody else thinks. If I say that I don't believe, you're concerned because, people said we're going to bottle it. This is not that same Arsenal team. Oh, I'm concerned because, again, they don't appreciate. We get called set piece FC, but Liverpool have more set pieces than us. But United have more set pieces than us. Why are we the ones getting called set piece FC? Yeah, come on. That is so. I'm gonna save some of that for my other video. But if you are here, there you go. That's part of it too. Piers Morgan. I can see that.
Yeah, he's getting pretty mouthy.
I can't lie. I watch their crash outs when they drop points. AFTV. Of course, anytime they drop points, when they drop points, I go out and I watch the compilation videos that just has all the streamers and the content creators, YouTubers, and when they drop points and just seeing people's reactions and all that stuff. I enjoy that, but we'll see. Mamty has a question. Keep, sell, or loan Vitor Hayes, Mfuni, Echeverry. Anybody want to go first?
Next, I'd keep out of the three. I'd keep Mfuni.
Keep Mfuni.
Yeah, he might have the edge because he's going to be homegrown, and that's like constantly been an issue for us. But I know Victor Hayes is highly rated, so
like a lot of.
But he'll probably go out on loan next season. I think Echeverry will be sold. I don't think we're going to keep him. From
what I'm seeing, like people retweet and whatnot, there's a lot of Watford fans who are massively impressed with Mafudi, massively, like more than they were with Elaine, which says a lot about his talent. Because they loved Elaine, and they were like, "Why did you have to come back to City?" So the fact that they've already gone with Mafuni being like that is just crazy.
I personally think that the better player between Mafuni and Vitor Hayes is probably Vitor Hayes, but I don't think any of them will come back to City in the next 12 months. I think this is probably an 18 months, 2 seasons project. I think we're going to loan Vitor Hayes one more season, and I think Echeverry will be sold. I don't think he's going to make it.
I think Echeverry this season, just do your bit at Girona, see if you get into the World Cup squad, and then next season see how his loan is, and not have, like, try and get a different agent in, because that agent is just a dumbass. I don't like him one bit for trying to get the move to Leverkusen just because they're in the Champions League. It's not right. He should have gone to Girona. The agent tried to be, the agent tried to get the money and whatnot, but it just didn't work out. And Echeverry listened to Pep and went to Girona. So
yeah,
I'm glad he's got common sense.
Snoopy says keep Mfuni, loan Hayes, and sell Claudio Echeverry. Wow, that's actually so. Again, no. this is not to disrespect any of these players, right? They're all City players, even if they're on loan.
Talented.
What'd you say?
Talented.
Talented, yes. So I'm not. This is not to disrespect any of them. However, whatever Mfuni is doing at Watford for these last few weeks, because he's only been there a short amount of time, to me, does not compare to what Vitor Hayes is doing at the top level in Spain.
His last two games haven't been that good.
He made a mistake that led to an own goal in this last one that I saw. I didn't see the game before that, so I can't speak to what specifically he did. But again, he's got a entire season track record, whereas Mfuni has like 3 or 4 weeks. I just think it's hard. And then he's playing, what is Watford, League One?
Championship.
Are they championship? Okay. So maybe that's a okay. For whatever reason, I was thinking they were League One. So again, doing that at championship versus doing that at the highest level against a Atletico Madrid, against a Real Madrid, against a Barcelona, against these top level teams. I just think it's hard. And now again, I think that what the club will probably do to Spartacus's point, I don't think any of these guys are coming back next season because roster makeup probably won't allow for it. But I think that for as highly rated as Vitor Hayes was, I guess I want both of them to come through. And I know we bought him as a teenager. I don't know what the rules are on him becoming homegrown. Maybe that ship has sailed for him. I don't know.
I think it has, yeah.
But I would much rather. I want to say much rather have him over Mfuni because that's not what I'm trying to say. But like what? I'm not going to say that because again, people will take that the wrong way. There are some center backs in our team now that aren't providing much of anything at the moment. And so I think they'll be gone next season. The reason I don't think Vitor Hayes comes back next season is not because he's not good enough, but because he's not going to play enough. And so from that standpoint, you have to go find matches, find games.
And I also don't think that he's ready either. Like, I've said this on the DM to a couple of people already. I'm not going to say this here. I think the project with Vitor Hayes is he learned in Brazil, you have to learn how to improvise, how to adapt on the fly, right? He learned that in Brazil. Now he went to Spain. He's learning the tactical side of the game. He's learning how to identify pressing triggers, how to identify isolations, and when the opposition is going to try to switch the game, going to try to be more direct, more possession based, and how to adapt to that. Now I think the plan is for him to get used to the physicality and learn the physical aspect of the game. So maybe if Troyes gets promoted to the Liga, maybe he goes on a loan spell to Troyes. If they don't, maybe a loan spell into Bournemouth. Brighton, a side like this would play him quite consistently. So this is the plan with Vitor Hayes. Get him used to
a PL loan.
Every small, maybe a Premier League loan or a French League loan, one of those two, because the physicality in both leagues is very similar. So I just think that the goal with Vitor Hayes is to get him as the ready-made aspect, kind of what Arsenal did with Saliba.
That's what I was going to say. I was saying it's the Saliba plan.
Yeah, they bought him very early, sent him to the French league, allowed him to develop that, and then brought him back as this pretty much ready-made centre-back.
Yeah, I think for both of them, there's just a lot of obstacles in their way currently on the team. We have 4 first-team center backs right now, and unless one of them moves on, whoever's coming in is going to be 5th choice. Like, I just think we're kind of stacked there right now. I don't think Vardiol is going to be a left back because he's just not quite as good. Also, with the Premier League loan, we can't force them to play him. So, who knows if he actually develops on something like that.
I think he is good enough to force himself into the team. But
we don't know that though.
Martin is saying that the plan is a Premier League loan.
But we don't. maybe there's somebody who wants to spite us or something and just be like, yeah, we'll loan him and we just don't play him. And circumstances can change too. Like at least with Twa, we can force them to play him because, he's that's part of the CFG. But, we've sent players on loan to the Premier League before and they don't play a lot. So I think that's a bit of a wild card.
I don't think anyone's going to spite us to be fair, that is what team is it? Who just got this Liverpool player? Was it Aston Villa? This guy was it?
Harvey Elliott, yeah,
Elliott, because they were like, we're not playing him because, and that's not because he's not a good enough player, but because we don't want to have to be on the hook to buy him because of the clause. So,
but City's not going to loan him with a buy option. City really rates Hayes very highly, very, very highly. We're not going to send him on the loan with an obligation to buy at all. There will be no option to buy with him.
Question: we play Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Nottingham Forest are second from the bottom of the table. Actually, that's not true. They are fourth from the bottom of the table. They are currently on 27 points. They are 2 points above West Ham on 25. West Ham is currently in that, would be the 18th spot. Yeah. So if we were to beat Nottingham Forest and let's say West Ham were to go win a game somewhere,
Fulham.
Do they play Fulham tomorrow? Then they could.
Cottage too, I believe.
Nottingham Forest could be down. There's a lot of conversation, a lot of topics. So people are having conversations about maybe it'll be Tottenham that goes down. My question for you: who gets relegated? Who gets relegated?
I'm torn. I'm really torn between between Forest and Spurs.
I don't think Spurs get relegated.
See who the chat thinks who gets relegated. And of course,
I have to look at the points. I don't know.
So West Ham are on 25. Nottingham Forest are on 27. And Tottenham are on 29.
I know there's an outside that is very highly unlikely.
All right, so there is a poll. There is a poll.
There's some. Well, Spurs being in the Champions League could hurt them because they don't have the squad for that. They have 13 first-team players right now. Everybody else is injured.
Yeah, but
also they still have to play Liverpool. They have to go to Sunderland. They have to play Brighton, which we know are tough places. They have to go to Villa Park. They have to go to Stamford Bridge. Those are not easy games. So I'm hoping that they lose all of them. But also,
so you're going for you think they're going to go down, or you want Spurs to go down?
Both.
Okay.
Let's get rid of them.
I think Martin agrees with you. Of course, Wolves and Burnley are already in those two spots, but then Spurs is what he's saying. So
I swap Wolves and Burnley around. Wolves are only 3 points behind Burnley now.
He says West Ham. Let me look up West Ham's fixtures. Hang on.
Snoopy, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch the Premier League enough anymore to say who's gonna go down. I'd much rather watch La Liga or Serie A or even Bundesliga.
The Liga is where
I
all the
don't watch it as
entertainment
much now.
Okay,
I've been watching a decent amount of Lyon.
West Ham go to Villa Park. They have a really nice April. They play Wolves, which is a relegation scrap. Crystal Palace and Everton. Those aren't terrible games. They go to Brentford. They have to play Arsenal in London. They have to go to St. James. Yeah, those are rough. Those are rough games for West Ham. I haven't looked at Forest yet. Let me pull them up. Okay. Oh, and also Forest are doing pretty well in Europa League, so that could be a factor too. That might take it out of them. Let's see. They host Villa. They have to go to Sunderland. They go to Stamford Bridge. They host Newcastle, and Newcastle are not good on the road. They have to go to Old Trafford. Let me see what the March.
But I
game is.
think Bruno Guimaraes should be back for that game.
Yeah, but even with Bruno G, Newcastle are terrible on the road. I've watched a lot of games with Steve, so they look awful outside of St. James. They really do. Like they drew to Leeds when Leeds were terrible and couldn't score a goal.
Here is a question
the
to
boringest
everybody.
game of the season was Newcastle at Aston Villa. That game was terrible. Like
Here's the question.
Newcastle are not good on the road.
Here's a good question for everybody. Why do you guys think that we completely destroyed Newcastle both home and away in the cup, but struggle in both games in the league?
I can't anymore.
It's not because
I can't anymore.
It's not because of that.
Well,
so why is it that?
Okay, so you were. I was going to say, I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt that it doesn't have to mean that's what you're trying to say.
So why is it? Because we played away at Newcastle without a DM as well.
What are you going to say though if we get beat by Newcastle on Saturday? Then what are you going to say then?
I don't know. We'll have to watch the game, innit? We'll have to watch the game. It depends on what happens.
How come we got bitch slapped by, excuse the language,
Snoopy said
by
we
Spurs
left the
at
keeper
home,
talk already.
And how come we lost at Brighton away?
Because
that talk is over. That was
wasn't even
15 minutes ago.
Because we did not have Josko Vardio, Phil Foden, and Doku.
Hey Spartacus. Remember when I told you? Remember when I told you that if Louis was a mod, that he couldn't moderate what you say on the stream. He could only moderate what you say in the chat. But you know what's interesting? Because you said it on the stream, and Snoopy, who is the mod, actually said we left the keeper talk already, Spartacus, and we got to move on. Mods are saying we got to move on. We can't go back to that. So
you cannot give Louis the mod because of that. He's gonna mod me in the stream. He's gonna mod me on the stream.
Snoopy's like, nope, not doing it, not going back, not gonna have that conversation again. It'll be interesting to see. At this point, I don't really care how we beat them. We just need to beat them, win in advance. I appreciate Pep. This is not to say one over the other, but I appreciate Pep for allowing our cup keepers to play all the way to the final. And we're going to win, lose, or draw with that cup keeper. A lot of teams, they get to the end or they get to the semifinals, whatever, and then they want to put their main keeper in. Nope, you got us here. This is your baby. See it out. And so we'll see. We don't know, but I hope that Trafford plays well. I hope that we go ahead and get through that match, and then we go on to win all these cup competitions that he's playing in. So big ups to him. So again, if you are paying attention, there is a poll out to see who gets relegated. What are your thoughts on who gets relegated? Looks like only a few of you have actually voted, but so far it's West Ham and Tottenham coming in second, right behind them, maybe by one vote difference. Nottingham Forest, no one thinks Nottingham Forest are actually going to go down, so not yet anyway. There's 205 of you out here. Go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and
if we are trying to sign Elliot Anderson, it would be helpful if Forest got relegated because we could probably get him for a better price.
Well, if we go beat them, then maybe we help. But then we also play West Ham, so if we beat them, it just kind of cancels itself out.
That's the thing. We have to beat both of them. If we're going to win a title, we have to.
We got to beat both of them. Yeah, that's not even a question. So, do you want Elliot Anderson? Is he a replacement for Rodri since no Rodri Martin keeps telling us that we're going to lose him?
There's no Rodri replacement because you don't replace the best midfielder in the world. You just don't. Especially when he still has a lot to give. You just simply can't. You have to get two players in to do it. Maybe I haven't watched enough Anderson to really make that determination or not. I've seen a couple games of his. I've liked what I've seen, but I've watched a lot more Tyler Morton at Lyon. I think he'd be a great fit on our team. I like Sandro Tonali. He's a great player. I know Tonali's name has come up before. But yeah, if we lose Rodri, I just think we're not gonna be as good of a team. because he's just such a good player. And it's not like he's at the end of his career. He's still got a lot to give. But if he wants to go, then he's gonna go.
I like Adam Watson a lot more than I like Elliot Anderson, but I do understand that Anderson is a much better fit because he's more of a duel winner than a technical player, and I think Adam Watson is more of that technically gifted passer than Watson, than Anderson. But we don't need that anymore.
Yeah,
I have another name for you. Go ahead, Louis.
The problem is with Wharton is there've been quite a few stats, especially since we played them in December, that his dual losing is like basically worse than Tazani Reinders, which, especially in the position that he's in, is never a good idea for us. I still think Adam Wharton's a class player, but Anderson for us is a lot better fit.
Yeah, if we have to start playing rugby on corners, we need some actual physical bodies, and we're kind of lacking that. And Elliot Anderson is that guy. Morgan Gibbs White is that kind of player.
So
is that kind of a
so
player.
let me correct myself. Martin didn't say that we would not keep Rodri. He just said he thinks that we will not. Not 100%. So that was not me trying to chuck you under the bus. That was an unintentional. My hand was in a natural position. You just happened to run into it. It wasn't handball there. There's no penalty. There's no red card. My hand was up, but
whoa.
It just is what it is, man. No red cards, man. No penalties. None of that stuff. No. Just hand was here, man. The ball just hit. It was unintentional. So no need to throw you under the bus.
Martin is going on percentages.
Red card, Terry.
Can we ask Martin, since he's going on percentages, is it 98% yet?
No, we will not. We will not throw him under the bus about his comments about 98%. But I do have a question for folks. And who was it? Foden season beat me to it. So big up to Foden season because I wanted to ask, what about this guy? Manchester City are very interested in Felix Nemecha, 25-year-old German, and are closely monitoring his situation. Initial talks between Borussia Dortmund sporting director and Nemecha's new agents over a potential contract extension have already taken place. His current deal runs until 2028, earns around 5 to 6 million per year. Dortmund prepared to increase his salary. A long-term dream of Nemecha is to play in the Premier League. However, he's fully focused on Dortmund. Do you think there's anything to this, or is it just agent talk to get him more money?
Where's Danny?
Personally, I think Nemecha is a very, very similar player to O'Reilly, in the sense that he's not the most technically gifted guy, but he's very tall and strong, so he's able to cover a lot of ground and win a lot of the ball back. More of a physical type of player. So, if we have a midfield three of Nemecha, O'Reilly, and Anderson, there is a lot of dual winning there. There's not a lot of brain power in the sense of creativity. So, I would be a little bit concerned that we're leaning too much into the physicality aspect, and then you add that with Semenyo up top and Haaland, and then probably just one of Foden or Cherokee.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Quite literally one. That's quite literally one creative player in the lineup. And the second most creative player will probably be Josko Vardy as the centre back. So.
I watch a lot of Dortmund. He's not good enough for City. He's a good player, but he's not Manchester City level. Not what we're trying to get back to. He's just not. He's like mid-table Premier League for me. He's not. I don't
like him. I think he's a good player. I think he could come into City level, but what really puts doubt in my mind is the reliance on physical ability over technical ability going way too far on the other end, and thus having to become kind of like an Arsenal type of side who relies way too much on the physicality and the set piece threat over the ability to just actually play football in it.
Yeah, I would pass on him. Let him. I wouldn't sign him.
But I guess that does really fit well with Donnarumma, so maybe that's the play.
So Martin sent me the video from Fabrizio Romano on Rodri's contract situation. I don't know if I should play it because, again, I'm trying to get the video taken down. But, why not?
Just paraphrase it. There's no need to just.
Well, I gotta watch it first, and so I can't watch and
facts.
do all this stuff at the same time. But we'll keep going, and maybe I'll get a chance to watch it, and I'll just summarize it. Otherwise, I'll just play it and call it a day. So we talked about Nemecha. Is anybody interested in Nemecha?
No.
I think that's a no.
We could do a lot better than that. If we're signing him, that means something's wrong. We could sign better players.
I mean, my thoughts on the transfer policy. I think something is very wrong there. But let's not get into this one.
Yeah. We'll save that for tomorrow. We can cry tomorrow on the watch along.
I thought I had bookmarked this, but so I saw that. Did I put it in here? So I wanted to ask about Omar Marmoush because Barcelona's salary budget has been increased by $81 million next year. If you don't remember, they were limited by how much money they could spend on salaries, I believe. And so it had to be like 1 to whatever the ratio was. It's getting back closer to 1 to 1. But in theory, they have 81 million new dollars that they can spend, or new money. I won't say dollars, but new money that they can spend next year, euros. Would that then allow them to go for a Julian Alvarez or for a Rodri or for a Omar Marmoush?
It's probably going to be even higher because the way that the La Liga wage budget works is they send the whole earnings into a kind of like an app, and then it calculates how much you can have as a wage budget. But that can only be done after the season is over, because that's when they know how much they won in prize money, revenue, ticket sales, and all of those things that is taken into consideration. So that's probably going to be risen up to like 120 million, probably.
So you're saying they're going to have more than the additional 81. They're going to have probably 120 extra extra that they haven't been able to spend. So they're going to be flush with cash, is what you're saying.
I think that they're going to have enough money to make one big transfer signing the season. And I think for next season, they're probably going to have enough money to make one very big free transfer. So give a lot of wages to one free transfer guy, because Robert Lewandowski is going to be leaving as well. So that's going to free up a lot of the wage bill as well.
Also, I think Frankie de Jong's contract was like, I think during COVID, he didn't take a wage, and that's why his wage is so high. So it might have balanced out by now. Like he was like making it for lost time at like 600,000 a week or whatever, but that might have balanced out, and it might be lower now. I'm not 100% sure, but
not yet. It should
I know
lower
it was
by
like
next
he was
season,
catching it.
but not
He was
yet.
making up for lost time for a while. I don't know if that's still the case though.
Yeah, he just said that he should be lower next season, but not yet.
Yeah, by the end of next season, I think that's when the amortization. Because what he did was Barca didn't have the money during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So he said, no, I'm not going to be paid anything during the pandemic, but the amount that you should be paying me, you're going to back end this in the contract. So they got like the first the middle 2 years of his deal and send it over to the back end of the deal. So this final stretch of his contract is going to be where he earns most of the money.
Martin says they want Nico G back, and that's not something that I've heard him say this before. It's not new. So if they have this new cash, which Martin used to say it was the Spotify money, I don't know where it's coming from, but if they want Nico G back, they have this new or this they have this cash that's now available. Is there anything we can do to stop him from going if we're not going to play him? Or are we prepared to just know that we're going to lose one of either Rodri or Nico G?
I don't see why they would want him back. They probably have the next La Masia wonder kid who's probably better than him, ready to go and cost no money. Why would they pay money for him?
What I heard is that they rate both Benal that play today and Casado a lot higher than they rate Nico Gonzalez. So
yeah,
I think it's unlikely. And I'm going to say this. I said this on the Mancunian way before. I'm going to say this again. Barcelona are very confident on moving for Rodri next season on a free.
You said
and
Barcelona or?
Yeah, Barcelona. Very confident on moving for Rodri on a free next season, from what I've heard. Now, Madrid is trying to get him this season, mostly because they know if it gets to next season, he's not going to choose them. He's going to go to Barcelona, but Barcelona is not willing to pay any money. So there you go. Viana is going to try his best to get a fee out of him. But even if he doesn't...
This was one of the questions that I had. And again, a lot of us are having the same conversations in multiple streams, and so it is what it is. But would you be prepared to just sell Rodri, or are you of the mindset? And this is, I think, where Cheeky was when he was sporting director. Hey, you've given enough to the club that we will just let you see out your last season, and then you can go on a free and go wherever you want to. That was a Cheeky mindset. I don't know if it's a Viana mindset. Everything we're hearing, especially from Martin, is that that's not a Viana mindset. It's either you're going to stay and sign a new contract, or we're going to sell you now because we're not going to let you go on a free.
I'm going to question this then. That's the Viana mindset. That is the Viana mindset. That is correct. The information is correct. But what power does he really have? Because Pep is not going to say to Rodri, okay, if you don't sign a new deal, I'm not going to play you. If Rodri is available, Pep is playing Rodri. So from Rodri's POV, doesn't really matter what Viana is telling him, because he knows he's going to have football. He's going to play football next season. And at worst, he's going to go on a free. So does it matter that Viana wants to get some money out of him? I would say no, probably.
Is this a controversial thought as a fan to say, just go ahead and sell him and let us get on with our rebuild? Does that feel like you're not supposed
apply
to
that to other players too? Then
you're not supposed to say that.
You're gonna apply that to another player too.
If
he's gonna make that comment, you need to apply that to the captain as well.
I guess, but the captain is performing.
Technically, is done. I mean, unless somebody renews him, he's over with.
But then you also have to look at the market and see, can you get a player that's gonna rebuild us at this moment in time? Is it the right time to let him go? Could we maybe get a player who's better than the ones that we can get this transfer window in 12 months' time? Are we not able to? Do we have a player that we must get this season? Otherwise, he's going to go to a rival club. And so we need to create the space in the squad to be able to do that. There's a lot of questions that we need to answer to get into this one answer. Do we sell Rodri to start the rebuild, or do we just keep him for another season? Personally, I would say keep him for another season. Wait a little bit, because I'm not 100% convinced on the direction that we as a club is going. and on the options on the market. I'm not convinced on either of them. And I think if we wait 12 months time, I think we might have a better view of where we want to be at as a squad, as well as some other players who are breaking through right now or getting into the final 18 months of their deal might become available in the market, such as a Joel Neves, such as a Pablo Barrios, such as a I'll have to think a little bit more about other players. I think Angelo Steeler is probably on the end of his deal as well. So
Pedri.
no, I think he just renewed.
I think this
I
is
would
the
love
key.
him, but
Steve saying, you know, there's no good answer. There's probably pros and cons both ways. And there's negatives both ways. So you're just gonna have to make a call, and you know, because to your point, maybe there's people available a year later that aren't available this summer. And so, but you have to, how do you know you're going to get those players, even if you did wait? Nothing's guaranteed. So, yeah, we'll see what the club does. I don't know that, again, I'm a little sentimental at times, and I know that about myself. So on one hand, it's like, oh, I can't imagine pushing Rodri out. I just can't bring myself to say, you got to go. But I also recognize that, you know, if he's not prepared to commit and he's already made his mind up that he's going to leave, then yeah, it'd be better to get something for him than nothing. So
we can sell other players to make money. He's not the only player on our squad that is going to.
No, where he's not. But if he's going to leave
30 years
anyway,
old, they're not going to pay a high fee for him.
I don't think
he's
that
still,
especially when
Rodri.
they know he's going to be a free. Why would any the Spanish
We'll
club
see.
like okay? When do Real Madrid pay money for players? They don't. They tell them to hold they say we'll get you out.
But if
free.
he's not prepared to wait, either they just move on to somebody else, or
the last player that they paid
get
for
into
was,
a little bit of a
Christian
bidding
and
war
Jude
to
Bellingham,
keep him
who were trying to
away
take
from
him.
Barcelona, because he is, you know, he's the quintessential. I mean, he's like a regen of dude. So I don't know.
Charles, this time Madrid are not gonna wait because they know if they do, he's not gonna pick them.
Yeah,
He's gonna pick Barcelona. By the way, this is the information that I've got. It's not 100% clear, right? I'm not saying 100%.
98%.
It's about 98%. Yes, it's
There you go.
98% done. But no, I'm joking. It's just like this is what I've been told, and I know some people that have pretty decent information on those guys. So the information I got should be pretty legit. The thing is, and it makes sense because what Cal said, Madrid would much rather wait for Rodri for 12 months,
Sure.
get him on a free, wait for him to see if the knee's gonna get fully back and see if he's gonna come back to the levels of Rodri of the past, and then get him on a free, than just having to jump in and pay like 50 mil, 45 mil to get him now. So it makes sense that there is something. Yeah, but it makes sense that there is something in 12 months' time that is worrying Madrid, that they're not going to be able to convince him, or not fully sure that they're going to be able to. So they're trying to, kind of what we did with Mark Gay.
Fair enough. Last thing that I want to ask.
I do question
I don't
what we
think
do
he'd
if he
want to go to
goes.
Madrid. They're a mess. They don't have a manager. They're just full of like their squad just has so many holes in it.
For all the flaws that we see,
the world's best midfield, and then also play with Lamine Yamal, who he was crediting in his Ballon d'Or speech, saying how great this kid is. Of course, he's going to want to go play with him. He's not going to go play with that soap opera in Madrid.
And again, he's been at Atletico, but at the end of the day, Real Madrid is Real Madrid, and they are definitely a draw. But I want to move on from this conversation.
Barcelona's right up
yeah,
there too.
I want to move on from it though. Last question I want to ask folks, and this is with an eye towards the World Cup, and maybe I shouldn't even think about the World Cup at this point, because it's just the way the state of the world right now. Maybe it's not even a conversation to have. But in talking about the World Cup, England, I want to ask you 3 City players and a former City player and I want you to tell me what you think their chances of being at the World Cup are. One could be they're guaranteed to be on the plane. There's a strong chance and a possibility that they go. There's a slim chance, but still a chance. Or there's no way they're not going to the U.S. unless they buy themselves a ticket, right? So those are your 4 options. Guaranteed to go, strong chance, slim chance, or definitely not going. All right. So we'll start with John Stones. Is John Stones, what is John Stones' World Cup chances? And you can put this in the chat too. John Stones' World Cup chances. Guaranteed to be on the plane, a strong chance to be on the plane, slim chance, but still a chance, or he's not going unless he buys himself a ticket.
Somehow he always makes it, innit? Like, somehow he
strong. I
always
think
makes
strong chance he goes.
100%.
Because England don't have a lot of center backs. If he's healthy, he'll go.
No, wrong one. Bench. Strong for Stonesy. Stones is Stones is only healthy for England all the way going. All right, so strong chance. Cisco seems to think maybe even a guaranteed to be on there. Yeah, there you go. Marla says guarantee. See you, Martin. Appreciate you. Again, hope you continue to get better. All right. Somebody's already jumping ahead. Ma'am T, you got to do it one at a time. All right. Next question. Next person, I should say. Nico O'Reilly. Guaranteed to be on the plane. Strong chance, slim chance, or he's not going.
Guarantee.
Nico O'Reilly, guarantee. Anybody else disagree?
I think it's the facility.
Are we supposed to change it every time, or can we just?
No, I mean each person's going to be different. So
I think the fact that he can play both midfield and fullback is just going to make him a guarantee.
Louis, do you think Nico O'Reilly's a guarantee to be on the plane?
It's a question of does he play midfield or left back now? He's been that good in midfield for us now.
I think the midfield is guaranteed to be Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice.
I don't know.
No, not with how Tuchel.
No, they're talking about Declan Rice being the Ballon d'Or. He's not going to be benched for Nico O'Reilly. And Jude Bellingham, no matter how terrible he is for England, he always starts games. Even though I think he single-handedly he was one of the big culprits by the end of the Euros.
No, Tuchel's putting his principles down really hard, and he's going to Bellingham. Do not fuck around, because I might drop you. He's willing to go with. I don't trust. He's got like, funny enough, he's got the same ego as fucking Fernando Alonso. That's all I'm saying about the bloody cunt.
Cool Family says he's 100% guaranteed. Snoopy says that he thinks Tuchel actually could bench Bellingham. Go ahead, and then we're gonna get the next player. Go ahead.
I'm just saying from a Brazilian POV, because I don't know how the internal politics of the English FA works, but I do know how the internal politics of the Brazilian FA works, and the manager doesn't really have that much power of doing stuff or calling up players in the Brazilian FA. So if that's the same with the English one, I can't see a way where Jude Bellingham is not there. I cannot see it.
It's been well known. It's been well known in the from November. There's that whole debacle about Jude Bellingham not playing, and he probably causes more problems if he's out the team than he's in the team, because he feels he has some divine right when he doesn't.
It sounds good to say it when it's still over a year away from the World Cup. It's a little bit different when it's actually here, but we'll see what happens. Again, I think that there are plenty of times where Bellingham has shown that he may not deserve to be there, but he's gotten goals for you all in close games. So I think that is going to get him on that plane, even if other players have been playing really well.
That's the problem right now. All the 10s are not like Morgan Rogers, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer.
So you're jumping ahead of me, Louis.
That's the problem. All the 10s right now are not performing the way they should be.
Yeah. All right,
Oh,
so
Morgan
Phil
Rogers has
Foden.
been amazing.
What is Phil Foden's chances of being on the plane for the World Cup? Is he guaranteed? Is he a strong chance to be there? Is it a slim chance, but yet there's still a chance? Or is he not going to the US unless he buys a ticket?
I think
think
he's
that's right.
going from the guarantee into the strong chance. I think he's edging into the strong chance.
I don't think I think it's the one of the bottom two. I don't think he's going.
Yeah.
All the English
slim
media do
chance.
is slaughter him. Pep's not playing him. That's probably going to shatter his confidence. You know, since he's not playing, his stats aren't very good. I don't see him going. I just don't, and I'm frustrated for the guy because I'm a big Phil Foden backer. Like I believe in him, and like I said, that's why I made my little argument earlier. I really want him to play. And if he's not
think
playing
we
for his
all
club,
do.
he's not going to play for his country. England has too many options. They'll take somebody who's playing who's not performing over somebody who's not playing or performing. Like they'll take Cole Palmer even though he's not performing just because he's playing. Foden's not playing right now. He played earlier in the season. He's not playing anymore, and I don't see him playing much the rest of the season. Because once Pep gets his 11 for this time of year, he sticks with it. So I don't think he's going to go, and I'm
Cool
really
City
sad about
said
that.
45% chance. Magnus said some chance, so I'll say slim chance, but still a chance. Unless Foden gets a turnaround or other in his place gets injured, it's a no. But I think Foden will be invigorated by his benching and be a good run-in guy.
60-40. I'm 60-40 for him going right now.
You're 60-40, so yeah, that's more than a slim chance. We'll say slim chance, but definitely a chance, maybe even a strong chance. 60-40 is more that he goes than he doesn't. I hate to say this. I don't think Phil gets on the plane unless he buys himself a ticket. I just don't think he's got a chance to go to this World Cup. And that's to Kelkster's point. That is unfortunate because he's been so good for us and I just love the kid. But I don't think where he's at right now, again, not playing, I don't understand. I don't know, unless something drastically changes between now and the end of the season, I don't know that Tuchel can afford to bring him. Because if you bring him, you're not bringing somebody else. And I just don't know that he can afford that. Governor says Foden will play against Forest. So maybe that starts his redemption tour. We hope and we'll see. In fairness, Steve says, in fairness, going for Foden, no one other than Rodgers is brilliant at this time. So I want to ask about one more person that could be potentially considered a 10. I want to ask about Cole Palmer. Now, he's not a City player anymore, but we know he was. What are Cole Palmer's chances of being on the plane with England to go to this World Cup? Spartacus, you were right out the gate. You said no chance.
Did you watch his performance against Arsenal?
I'm just making sure I heard you correctly. Did you say no chance?
Zero chance.
Zero chance.
Did you know that that Chelsea with him has got like 25% win rate, something like that, and without him like 80%? It's mental. Cole Palmer has been terrible this season. Like terrible. He's been a detriment because there are two types of terrible players, right? The one that ghosts, and that's bad. But then there is the player that is a detriment to your side. And that's even worse because he's making the game harder for you. It's not being a neutral in the game. Like sometimes Foden does that. Sometimes he's a ghost in the game and you don't really notice him. That's bad, but that's not terrible. Cole Palmer has been terrible.
For that being said, Real Mario says that there's a good chance that, and I don't know, because I don't recognize the name, so I don't know if he's a City fan or not. But Real Mario, or I guess even could be a Chelsea fan, but Real Mario says there's a good chance that Cole Palmer goes. Mamty says that Palmer is going to the World Cup. And reason that Real Mario said that there's a good chance is because PR always wins.
I have a different angle. Yeah, actually, Someone in the chat just stole my thunder. I've heard he's playing with an injury that requires surgery, and he's trying to delay it to go to the World Cup. So I would say there might be I've heard it's his groin. I don't know for sure. This is just what I've heard. It's all based on internet rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. But I've heard he has a groin issue, and we saw Kyle Walker try to play with a groin issue, and remember he had to have surgery. So part of me wouldn't be surprised if Cole Palmer just didn't trying to play injured, forced himself into getting surgery, doesn't make the World Cup for that reason.
I mean, all I can say is that he's been terrible. So,
but again, PR. Jude Bellingham's been terrible too. He'll make it.
But at least Jude Bellingham gets the goal at the end of the game for Madrid. He does a 0 out of 10 performance, but gets a goal, so that can hide a bad performance. Palmer is not even getting that goal or an assist to hide the bad performance. He's just having the bad performances.
Yeah. I just want to say this. England, you don't deserve Phil Foden. So I hope you leave him at home, and I hope you have a terrible tournament. Apologies to the English fans, but the way that the media
which is probably
slags off our player,
85% of the people on here.
I know, but I just think that I think the way that they treat Phil Foden is just so poor. Like they literally blamed him single-handedly for them losing the Euros. You don't deserve him. The England national team does not deserve Phil Foden. So I'd rather Phil Foden stay home, clears his mind, go fishing all summer, and comes back and dominates for Man City next season. That's my preference.
Can he play for Brazil? Question mark.
Oh yeah. Phil Foden, you want an American passport? Well, we would build the team around you. And he would just instantly be United States best player. Instantly.
I'll have him for Brazil. Right?
Yeah, England, the way they treated him, they just don't deserve him. So.
All right. We are going to get out of here. We're right at 2.5 hours.
Jordan Henderson has more of a chance. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Anybody see Jordan Henderson at the end of that game today?
That's tough.
There was a fight.
Is he still playing at Ajax? No, I guess it's no.
He's
at Brentford now.
Brentford, yeah.
No,
Yeah, he came
that's
back.
how little I've been watching the Premier League, I guess.
Yeah. All right, we are going to get off of here. But before we do, everyone, please do me a favor. Again, if this is your first time, or maybe you in and out, just do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. It will drastically help the channel as I try to continue to build it out. Again, I do this every Tuesday night, looking at maybe adding another night, but I don't want to add anything that I can't keep going consistently. Since we've done this should be 20 straight weeks of doing this. I missed a week because I was in the hospital, but every other week I've been here, and I've tried to make sure that I keep doing it. I'm thinking about adding a Monday because it's kind of freeing up for me. But if I do, I want to make sure I can be here. But I need your support. So please do me that favor of going ahead and hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you are a City fan and I don't recognize your name, please forgive me. I'm sure I've seen you whether on LB's channel, Martin's channel, wherever. If you're brand new, you're not a City fan, that's okay. You don't have to be a City fan to be a subscriber to the channel. You can just be a football fan in general. Or you can just be like, I just want to support. And that's perfectly fine too. I'll take all the support I can get wherever I can get it from. So, but certainly appreciate you being here. So many of you have been here from the very beginning, 2.5 hours that you've committed to hanging out with your boy. That means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening. And let's hope we get these 3 points tomorrow, because all this stuff doesn't matter if we drop points tomorrow. So up the Blues.
Can I give a little cheeky plug very quickly? I've been doing a weekly show with Debs on the South Stand about tactical review and reviewing the game in a tactical manner on the Sundays. On the Sundays. If you guys could give it a watch.
On Sunday? Is it a live stream?
It's just a video. It's just a video, about 50-ish minutes we tend to go for. So if you guys could give it a watch, any feedback is heavily appreciated as well. And yeah, just give it a watch.
Will it be a two-part this week, Sparkers, because there's 2 games?
We're probably gonna do like half of the show one game, half of the show the other one.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So big up again the channel. If you again, most of you probably already know Daps and you know we are the South Stand, but if not, go check them out. Again, subscribe to all city content creators. As a matter of fact, subscribe to as many football content creators as you can, because it's a lot of work that people are putting in to try to provide entertainment and content for folks. Kels is here. Go ahead and shout out your channel. And I say your channel. I know you're working with Patrick, but
Well, I've kind of taken over his channel.
yeah.
Spartacus comes on quite a bit as well, so he can plug that one too as well. But yeah, I stream primarily on True City Fan TV.
Sure.
We also have a True City Fan Extra channel where we do watch-alongs that are not Premier League. Those get really La Liga, the Bundesliga, Serie A, some Eredivisie. Those get really funny. Everybody send some good wishes and prayers to Patrick. But yeah, I'll be live tomorrow doing a watch along. Usually Spartacus joins me in a lot of watch alongs, but depends on his schedule. So maybe he'll be there tomorrow with me. Maybe he won't.
I should have a meeting with my manager, but let's see. Let's see if I can reschedule it.
Life comes first. It's okay. It's a weird
Yeah,
time.
I know,
of
but
day.
I want to watch the game as well, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna see.
City comes first over everything. What are we talking about here?
We do have
Big
to
ups
have
to everybody. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your evening or morning if you're over in the UK or wherever you might be. Thanks again for hanging out with your boy. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.